All right, hello, lovely humans of Earth, XFM Saturday this week, because I saw some of you concerned. It's okay, I'm fine. It's just I haven't really been home this week. I'm looking for properties to move into. Oh man, is that hard? I already saw 5 and they were all a bust, so I'll get there, but I just haven't been home all week. And the little time I was home, I am painting my mom's bathroom for Mother's Day as a gift, and oh boy, turned out to be so much more work than I thought it would, because the old paint it looked fine, right? But then as soon as you touched it, it just all popped off. So that's been fun. But anyway, I just didn't have time to make it till Friday, but I'm here now. Saturday, it is Saturday. I'm just gonna do it and then upload it as soon as I'm done. So it's gonna be a very weird time. It wasn't a mistake. I didn't mess up. It's just to, get it done. And so you don't have to wait another day. Anyway, it's Series 2, Episode 21. Mr. Rusty Dog makes these. Thank you, as always. A beautiful job. Gives me context, gives me visuals. It's all great stuff. And that's it. I've just been really busy. So, again, I know some of you were concerned. Most of you were just like, yo, where's XFM? Which is fine. It lets me know that you appreciate these, which is cool. But some of you are actually concerned because I haven't really been uploading. But again, I just wasn't home. I was way busier than I thought I'd be this week. But whatever, it's fine. I also had to fight with the bank. There was a whole thing. But doesn't matter. Not important. What's important is Carlness, XFMness. Let's go.
Travis, level come through.
Oh, is that supposed to be Baldrick? Okay. They're very yellow. Ooh, Carl is very yellow. That is so interesting. All right, it's a visual of them. I like it. That monkey looks mad. That monkey looks very Homer Simpson-ish, which I guess is the point. I'm trying to look at the shirt. I guess it is Baldrick. Myths. I'm not going to get into the myths thing. Okay. That was a mistake on my end. Never mind.
Gervais,
Myths. It's good.
Through
all right,
on
sorry.
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais.
Oh!
Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington.
I'm slow with the details. Ooh, he looks good in that choker. I like it. It suits him. It suits him just as much as that kinky outfit he did when he did like the lip sync battle thing. It suits him just like that did. Whatever that means.
Etc. Got some great tunes actually lined up.
Excellent.
I've brought in some Amy Mann, some Neil Young. I'm playing my favourite Clash track. What have you got for us, Steve?
I got a dynamite hip-hop tune by The Roots.
Finally,
which
hip-hop
I think
again.
you'll enjoy. Got a little bit of Joni Mitchell. Maybe swing that on later.
Oh, excellent. I nearly brought in some Joni Mitchell. It's a good job I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it wouldn't have made any difference. It wouldn't have made any difference.
No, we would have probably played yours. And,
yeah.
What's HLAFAO? Am I supposed to sound it out? HLAFO? I don't know. What is that? Yeah.
Fine. Go away. Carl, what have you got lined up for us as the producer?
Right, well, Rockbusters.
Been off this week again.
Has he?
Yeah.
Another week off?
Another week off, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a full week off. I had 3 days off because I was working all over Christmas.
Yeah.
All over Christmas.
Still didn't stop working, preparing stuff. You've got a nice load of prizes there that I've sorted out. I had to come in especially to sort that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rockbusters.
Did you rifle through the drawers up at Capital Gold instead of down here?
Yeah. Rockbusters, we're still doing that.
Yeah. You're picking it up.
Yeah.
He's picking it up. Yeah. Still doing that.
We've got that. Last week, we sort of changed Educating Ricky a bit. Just a little bit.
Don't say we. I don't want to be incriminated.
Well, changed it in a sense that rather than giving you too much information about different things, it's hard to sort of keep it all in.
Yeah.
I'm giving you sort of information on one thing. So last
no,
week,
because some of your stuff was a little bit too intense for me. My favourite story was there was a blind girl. She hit her head and got better, and I couldn't take all that in at once. So you should really ration some of the.
You know what makes it brilliant is that he didn't educate him at all on that subject because he didn't even remember it was a deaf girl. Like, that's just and I like that he brings it up every freaking week and it's wrong.
Education.
We sort of
Wasn't last week.
And you know what's fun? Carl didn't even correct him. He doesn't even remember either. They're all a mess. Just the 3 of them. Jeez. You want to leave? Oh. I think that was a yes. Then why'd you come? All right.
Or related stories.
Yeah, it was War Do You Think of That then?
What
and
do you
it was
think of that,
Sure.
3 things.
And it was the French battle going over the top was John's got a moustache, which you think was ambiguous because someone might have said that anyway.
That was great.
Well, look, you've remembered it, so it's working.
There
so
you
we'll
go.
be doing that, and last week
Loads
you
of
said,
French people have just gone to war who were listening to this.
Yeah.
you said you wanted to learn some science this week.
Did
so, yeah.
Did I? I don't remember
the
that either,
title
but
this week
sure.
for that is Acid, I Would Sort You Some Science Out. Acid.
That's like the worst
How
one
long did
ever.
that take you to call?
Listen, but people.
I feel like that was kind of like when they when he made the Rockbusters Christmassy, and it was just like a normal clue at Christmas, and it made no sense.
People love Carl. There's comedians come to me and go, Carl's the funniest man. They absolutely love him, right? But I think we're only seeing half of it, right? If we can get him on television, his face then, when he told me that title, was like a child at Christmas.
Yeah.
Very
It
true.
he was so proud of it. He was excited what I was gonna. It was brilliant.
It's a bit like when a child's drawn a picture in art class. You know you've got to stick it on the fridge,
You've
but
got
you
to,
basically
yeah.
think it's crap.
Yeah.
It's very much like that.
All right, Carl.
Is that good?
Yes.
Aw,
So
yes.
we'll be doing that. Do we need them?
Yeah. Have you got another one?
We have got another one. Looking at snails this
Oh,
week.
Do we
yeah.
need snails?
Do we need
Because I know you're not a
snails?
fan of snails, are you?
Fascinating.
Well, after a bit of research, I found some good stuff out about, like, they sleep for 13 years, some of them,
Yeah.
and that. So we'll be looking
Ricky,
into
you
that
tried
later.
that once.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We've got Ritual,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is something that I told Ricky about.
Yeah, well, last week's was brilliant. It's
was
good
it?
to have a flat head in India.
It's good to have a flat head in India. I've
That's
forgotten all about that.
brilliant. Yeah.
And,
Well,
that's about it. That's-
I'm gonna just play one of my favourite Smith tracks.
Can I just make a request? So I'd quite like if you've got time to bring back just for 1 week only White Van Carl,
Sure.
because there's some
Those are
quite
great.
interesting topics this week.
Oh, is there things happening in the world?
There's
Because
some
Carl
things
doesn't think there
happening.
is.
No.
There is a light that never goes out.
She can't hear what they're saying, so she can't really react.
Someone's left one of those little things in here. It's brilliant,
It's
isn't it?
amazing. What are they called? Those things?
I imagine there, I was thinking of being in the front row at a
I
Morrissey
don't know what they're
concert and going,
I don't
can
remember.
I just play along?
I thought it sounds a lot like a recorder. Here in Argentina, when you're about 8, it's a law that every freaking kid has to learn how to play the recorder. Oh, what a horrible sound that thing makes. And they condemn parents all around Argentina to suffer through their child trying to play like Mary Had a Little Lamb on that thing. Oh, horrible experience. I hated it. Everybody hated it when I was practicing. Now my niece has one. Everybody hates it again. It's horrible.
Oh, brilliant.
I don't know what kind of sound that is.
I don't know. It's only used for when Kenneth Williams
Yeah, exactly.
sees someone undressing.
Yeah.
That's the only time that is used, that noise.
Exactly.
That is
But
brilliant.
it's like it was specially created for the Carry On films.
Yeah, we need, I don't know what it is, but we need something when I walk in and see someone changing. Well, what about this? There is a light that never goes out by the Smiths. I phoned Carl up in the week, yeah, and I said, what are you doing? He went, well, even though it's one of my days off, I'm just doing some research on the web. Found anything that said, yeah, I'm doing science. And then he said, you can get wigs for dogs in Tokyo. That's his scientific fact. And I went, what do you mean? Dogs, they need a wig? I said, if they need a wig...
Okay,
what do you
well,
mean?
wait, though, because...
Fact.
I mean... they don't look bad. You know what I mean? I've seen people dye their dogs. There's now, pet safe dye and stuff. People are always like, oh, that's putting poison on your animal or whatever. And there's always a lot of negativity around it. But apparently there's dog safe dye. It's all from natural stuff, so it won't do anything that the dog licks it. It's fine. And they end up making, I've seen dogs made into poodles made into skeletons, or they make them rainbow, or they make them look like tigers, or just a bunch of things. And there's always people that are so negative on it, oh, why would you do that to your dog? Dude, dogs are the happiest species ever, right? They're just excited to be alive and to take part in stuff. And the dogs I've seen that do get dyed, they get so much freaking attention. Oh, I've seen like corgis turned into pandas. It just looks so cute. And they get so much attention from it. And the owners are like, every time I take them on a walk, everybody comes up. And they're so freaking happy because they don't understand, but they know what attention is and they love attention. So they're like extra happy. Maybe not this. Like the first dog looks pissed, which he should. That's a horrible haircut. That's like Edna Mode, right? That's not good. But the other one looks quite cute. Like I feel like that dog gets a lot of attention on walks with a wig on. And they're just loving it. They eat it up. They love that kind of stuff. Most dogs, right? There are some introverted dogs. But you know what I mean? Like, if the dog is safe, if the dog does no harm, if they can eat it and they won't die and it's fine, and on top of it, they get extra attention and cuddles from just, like, everybody, it's a win-win-win-win, man. That's amazing. So, this is weird, though. And this is probably uncomfortable for the dog. But still, funny. Japan's weird, man. Japan has some weird products. I've seen stuff. Japan and Korea... bizarre stuff.
And Tokyo. That's his scientific fact.
I don't know if that's scientific.
What do you mean? Dogs, if they need a wig. I said, if they need a wig, what? Dogs going bald. And he went, like, this is fine to him. He went, it's a stressful city, Tokyo. The world's all right with Carl. He's always got an explanation. I've only ever seen him confused once. When, in Edinburgh, he looked out of his window one day and he saw a bloke putting a parking ticket on some rubbish.
Yeah.
And that genuinely confused him.
Yeah.
He couldn't work out, could you?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
And the woman breastfeeding her 8-year-old child. You didn't like, did you?
I don't like that. But,
don't like that either.
What's the name? Animals with wigs. I kind of thought, after I put the phone down to you, kind of thought about it, thought, yeah, it's a bit daft, that.
Are you sure it's not the ageing pop group?
No.
The Animals?
But when you think, have you ever seen, like, a bald pet?
No.
It's weird.
What do you mean?
Because my mum, we had a cat. We used to get through loads of cats because we lived there.
Oh God! It's starting early today, isn't it? What do you mean? It's only 10 past 1.
What are you doing?
No,
Running a restaurant?
We lived on.
Oh God! What do you mean?
No, we lived on like a main road.
Oh yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
we used to get through a lot of them. My dad
It was
kept
their
saying,
risk.
you know, stop wasting money. You know, it's not
Stop
good.
wasting money, not
So-
wasting cat.
They were just constantly getting run over. Take better care of your cats, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. That's not, like, that's just owning up to you're a horrible pet owner. Saying, oh yeah, we used to go through cats like nothing. No, that's not,
Right, so,
no bueno.
Anyway, we
no.
had this cat that was ill all the time. And,
I wonder why.
Just bag of nerves, probably.
Yeah, malingerer. Yeah, I'm terrified.
I'm going to which house?
Rome. Oh God, bloody hell. Rome.
Don't let me go to the Pilkingtons.
and for some reason, it kept being sick all the time.
I wonder why.
That's definitely nerves.
So my mum thought, oh, I've had enough of this, and she shaved it.
Whoa.
What does that have to do with
Now,
anything?
I know you're not vets in your family.
Clearly.
But what correlation did your mum
Thank
think there was between it being sick and shaving it?
Because it kept being sick, and it was a pain to wash, because it kept getting
So
caught
she
up.
wanted a dry wipe cat.
So,
Why didn't you just varnish it? What?
it's weird though.
So now he's cold and sick.
No, but not all of it. She left sort of the back half, but sort of from its waist, sort of.
I love that! Shave it because it's sick on itself!
And
That is
it was the
genius.
weirdest looking thing. I mean, normally I like cats. I'm always like giving yours a stroke on the head and that.
Yeah.
As soon as she did that, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
can't touch it. And then
So now it's sick, cold, and hated.
Yeah.
I love. Carl.
It must have, I mean, the other cats must have been taking the mick out of it constantly. You're just making things worse. Did it get, I'm hoping that
Oh
it got
my
one of-
god! Oh my god! I'm gonna. Ouch! I'm gonna see if I can find it. But there is a video I've seen so many times because every time it pops up, I just love it so much. Where it's this person that has 2 cats, right? I think one is like orange, kind of a fat cat, and then a black cat. If I'm remembering the colors right. And the orange one had some kind of surgery or whatever, and they had to shave its tail. Like, just completely shave it. The whole cat was fine, but the tail was shaved. And it looks so weird. It looks like a rat's tail. It's just obviously, like, just skinny and bony. And just the other cat, the black cat, is fascinated by it. It's so confused as to why his homie's tail looks like that. So it's just a compilation of videos of like the black cat reacting to the like bald tail, and it just kind of like wants to touch it, but like, you know when you I'm sorry, I remembered something. George Carlin has this whole thing on when you shake hands with somebody that's missing a finger and you don't realize it until it's too late, and you can't be like, oh, what's that? You're missing a finger. And you know, you gotta be respectful and stuff, but it kind of grosses you out because something's missing. There's something wrong. It's kind of like that's the reaction the cat has to the tail. Like it wants to touch it, but it's like grossed out with it. It's just like, what is this? It's brilliant. Oh, if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna try to see if I can find it to link it somewhere in the comments or whatever. But it's great stuff. Bald cats, like the Finks cats, the ones that are naturally just skin. They're supposed to be like that, but they already look weird. They look like a defrosting turkey. But a cat that has hair and then you shave it, weird stuff, man. Not natural. Not natural at all.
Did it get? I'm hoping that it got run over and was put out of its misery.
No, I think it got all right.
That's not something to hope.
Yeah, it did get run over. It did.
Oh God. Oh dear.
How many cats do you say you've got through?
I'd say whilst I was living at home, I mean it's still on the increase even though I'm not there. So whilst I was there, probably 5.
God.
That's not that bad.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be way
Each
worse.
time, or you just got used to it?
It's one of them things, isn't it? Like I've said before, when you first see something, it's a bit of a shock. Do you know what I mean? It's like the Elephant Man or whatever.
Yeah.
First time you see him, it's that sort of, oh, look at that.
Do you remember the first time you saw Steve? No, I'm not being funny. Do you remember the first...
I'm not being funny.
Yeah, but I've said this before. It's always, then you get used to how people look, and you don't... No.
Jeez.
I'm going to burst. You got to play a record.
No, but...
Because I see Steve.
I love when he says I'm going to burst. I
No,
can
but I got
just
used to
imagine it.
Shut up.
Let You Down. Gold Rush on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais. Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Brilliant.
Rick, I was in...
that
I
was
don't know
great.
whether I should tell you this because it might rock you to the very core.
Go on.
But I was in an Indian restaurant the other night, and you've not seen the film. Have you seen the film Notting Hill?
I haven't, no.
Right, in the
First
film Notting Hill, have you
film-
seen that, Carl?
Yeah.
I think it's the first freaking film they mentioned that I've actually seen all the way through. More than once. Finally. I was just, I took a moment because it says from the creators of 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I hated that film. I couldn't finish it. It was so boring. So it's interesting that they actually made a better movie. But whatever. Controversial. I know some people like that movie, love it, whatever. Not me. Not for me.
Remember the bit, Julia
I gave it
Roberts,
a try.
in
I gave it a
Notting
good
Hill.
try,
Have you seen
too.
the film Notting Hill?
I haven't, no.
Right, in the film Notting Hill, have you seen that, Carl?
Yeah.
Do you remember the bit, Julia Roberts plays a movie star, rather like Julia
She's the
Roberts.
most famous...
Yeah,
I know
and she's
her.
in a restaurant having dinner with Hugh Grant, and she overhears some people in the restaurant slagging her off. And saying, you know, she's a slapper, probably all actresses are.
I don't remember that.
And she's sort of stewing on it, and Hugh Grant wants to say something, and she says, no, I won't let you. And then as she's walking out, she goes and says something to them, and of course their faces drop, they can't believe it's her. Anyway, I was in an Indian restaurant the other night, and they were slagging you off, Rick. Well, what they were saying is they were going, Ricky Gervais, the thing about Ricky Gervais is he's just like the character he plays.
Right.
He's just like David Brent in real life.
Right.
And I was listening in, and I was thinking, well, I want to say something. I want to go over and have a word and say, you know, you're partially right, but I couldn't. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't. What could I do? I couldn't really go over there and get into a rumble.
I want to say, what do you mean that I'm like him? I use his face and his vocal cords, but I mean, I can't help that.
But it's that thing as well of I don't know where they've got this information from.
But no.
Because you're not,
it's
so
received.
they're wrong.
Well,
so
they've received it from somewhere, or they've read it or something. It's just, but I don't know.
Dude, okay. I'm sorry. I just had this conversation today that it frustrates me so much because I was talking, my mom and I are watching Frasier, whatever, and Frasier kind of evolved, right? I don't know if you guys seen Frasier, but he started off on Cheers, and the character was one thing on Cheers, delightful, smart, snobby, but, you know, good guy. Then they kind of transform him into, right? And then he got his own show, and he started out, again, charming and stuff, and then they kind of transform him into this really unlikable, like, pompous, egocentric, narcissist guy. I didn't say that right, but whatever, you got it. And, you know, like, he quite disrespectful towards women, like, his attitude towards dating and women and stuff, not healthy. And we were talking about that, and my mom, you know, throws out that, well, he's a good actor, though, to make you unlike the character so much, or to play that. Like, it takes skills to be a kind of character where, you know, it's just you either don't like him or don't agree with them or hate him or whatever. Dude, I have read so many times, I've heard so many interviews about people that playing like the villain in some kind of movies and stuff just ruin their lives, because people out there dining in restaurants talking about famous people don't know how to differentiate the actor from the freaking character. Like Tom Felton, Draco Malfoy on Harry Potter, he had a horrible time with fans, because especially since he was little and the fans were children, that, okay, I get children don't know how to differentiate, whatever, but adults don't either. So everybody always hated him. Like, he would go on the street and people would, like, insult him and stuff, thinking he was Draco Malfoy, and apparently he was, like, the sweetest guy ever. I've seen fans meet him and stuff, and the guy is a freaking sweetheart. And it's true to, like, quite a lot of actors that play horrible characters, that in real life they're total sweethearts, and people just can't, like, unclick and realize one thing's TV and a script and a character, and the other thing is the actor or actress. Like Olivia Colman. Apparently she's amazing, is such a sweet, like, humble person, and she does have characters where she plays, like, awful people, like Fleabag. Ugh, hated her in Fleabag. But, I mean, just why is it so hard for people to understand that if you hate a character so much, it just means that the actor is that good, man? But, oh, it frustrates me, because, I mean, they get so much hate that they don't deserve. And it just frustrates me that people can't separate those two things. Like, sometimes, totally, like, different levels, but sometimes I get comments like, oh my god, you talk too much. Dude, it's like, consider me being a podcaster on the radio. I'm supposed to talk. What? I can't be here sitting quietly. That makes no sense. Like, yeah, but this isn't the way I talk with people around. I mean, a conversation is one thing, but I'm just sitting here alone. If I don't talk, I'm not doing nothing. Like, what's that? You know, I don't understand those comments. Like, what do you expect? But whatevs.
I mean, I can't really be annoyed that they're just wrong.
But it was very weird.
It's like being annoyed at a vicar believing in God. I can't get annoyed with him. I just don't believe.
But because obviously they don't recognise me, it's rather like, you know, when they talk about that idea that if you could go to your funeral, what would people be saying about you? It's the closest you could get to that. Well, you can hear what people are saying about your friends.
But why don't you, to get around to that, you go, he is, yeah. What do you think of the other fella that's sometimes with him? That tall fella, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know,
It's a shame, actually, because, on the occasions I do get recognised from minor appearances, I never get any cool fans. I just get the nerds. I get the real nerds. I don't get, you know, beautiful women coming out.
You'll put him off, though. Put him off. You've got to take what you can.
Well,
but you'll have nothing.
No, I know, but this girl came up the other day and she said, hey, are you that guy who's involved with The Office? I went, oh, yes, I am. She went, my boyfriend loves you, he's over here. And she pointed him out. I was devastated. I thought, I'm in here. Yeah. There was nothing going on. But there was a guy who was in HMV and he was working with the till, he'd been working on the till, and he saw me, he said, would you sign this DVD? I went, oh, no problem. I said, and I was trying to make conversation, I was trying to be frothy, and I said to him, oh, selling well, is it? And he went, it is. Although we've had quite a lot of returns.
No!
I said, well, don't tell me that. I didn't know that.
What did he mean? That they didn't like it?
And I said, what, you would have been bringing it back?
No, I think it's glitches.
He said, they've been bringing it back. I said, what was the problem? He said, they didn't really like it.
No!
Yeah, some of them didn't really like it.
You can get it back if you don't like it.
No, I mean, I don't know whether they gave him the money back, but certainly that's what he dealt with. That's what he can count with.
Can you imagine?
And then he said, we didn't give the money back, they just wanted to drop it off. What, they didn't even want the money back?
Yeah, they just wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah, they
didn't want it in the house.
It's like,
I don't want this rubbish in the house.
Oh, but we still get the money for it, do we?
We still get the money, but
brilliant.
You know
Dude, that's insulting. Like, there's levels and levels. That's insulting.
Brilliant.
That sucks.
Again, because people don't recognise me, again, I was in a record shop, there was a stack of Office videos, and this guy went by, and I sort of heard them as they went by. He went, oh, Office, yeah, a lot of people like that. I think it's shit. He's mate when I agree.
Really?
And of course, again, what could I do? I couldn't say anything. I couldn't pipe up and go, well, that's sort of...
Everybody's entitled to their
The
opinion.
fact that you're always hearing these loud vocals.
Yeah.
Right. What's the chance of that? That's brilliant. Maybe everyone's always slagging it off.
But it's partly,
That's it.
Yeah, that's partly it, but also because I keep hanging out by stacks of Office DVDs.
You're bound to hear stuff.
dear.
Wearing a t-shirt with a picture of you and me on it.
Yeah, that'll do it. What we got to play, Carl?
Something that Steve wants.
Well, actually, I must dedicate this to someone who's emailed in. I mentioned earlier that I was going to play some of the Roots, and Joe from Peterborough's very excited about that. So, this is not from the current Roots album, sadly, which I've not fully absorbed yet, and therefore don't feel I can make a decision on which track to play, but maybe that'll come
That's the sort of
sometime in the
effort
future.
and thought we put into our, picking music.
Exactly.
Doubt it,
I had
but
these
sure.
cassettes still in my bag from last week.
Sure. Anyway, this is from the album Things Fall Apart. It's the Roots featuring Erykah Badu. You Got Me. Let's play it. Featuring Erykah Badu, that's the Roots, and You Got Me.
Good, I like that one.
Yeah, you've enjoyed that.
Yeah, I love it, yeah. Well, it's coming up to 1:30, and so it's time for Rockbusters. It's a structured show, it's a new leaf. This show
Wow.
in the new year
Can't
is going to be
believe it.
structured. Set pieces, hitting our marks, do you know what I mean? There'll be time checks, weather checks, quick hold out. If you're driving, careful on that.
Okay,
So do the
thank
prizes.
you.
Check for traffic, like if it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, well, again, an arbitrary selection of goodies.
What are those politicians doing?
Was that XFM News?
Yeah. Right, what have we got?
Spot on.
So we've got, for those that are a fan of the movie Donnie Darko, which a lot of people
Sure.
rave about this year, a sort of weird teenage movie, then there's a sort of sweatshirt there.
Teenage
It is
movie?
actually quite
Ooh, I
nice.
love
It's
it.
It's medium, so if you're a bit of a...
I would be so happy to win that. I freaking love the Donnie Darko bunny thing. That's awesome. That is awesome. That's an awesome prize. This is the best prize yet. Even better than the friggin' weather.
bloater, don't bother to apply unless you've got a friend already. We've also got here a Graham Norton video, certificate
Okay.
18. So please don't phone up don't email in unless you're above the age of 18.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the best of his TV show.
Nice.
Look forward to that.
It's a big stiff video, that, isn't
He's
it?
been famous forever then, and he like looks the same. Has he ever been in, is this like a chat show as well? Because it's best of So. What's So? Has he always just been like a host of some kind of show or something? Because it's amazing to me that he looks the same. Like, exactly the same. Because you know some people, you see him younger and you're like freaking Ricky, man, when he was in Shauna Dancing or whatever. Like, sure, his eyebrows were overplucked and he had a Bowie vibe going. Oh, I'm sorry, a Bowie vibe going. But he looks so different. Very different. Some people just like 10, 20 years ago, they look like a completely different person. Dude, Lee Mack as well. Lee Mack was like so much thinner. Even his like face was like, his bones were thinner. And then you see him later and it's unrecognizable. But freaking Graham looks the same. The same. That tripped me out. Okay.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
It's a big stiff video, that, isn't it? It's a big stiff cock of a video.
Thanks very much.
I meant
You
the...
can't say, you meant the bird.
Yeah.
There's also a fairly mediocre British wartime thriller, Enigma, which a lot of people, it was hyped for a while, but it's actually interminable.
It's a
I've seen it.
brilliant film. I haven't seen it.
The first series here of The Kumars at number 42 on DVD. I think that's
Never heard of
award-winning,
that
so
either.
that's available as well. We've got 2 CDs by the look of it. We've got Pulp's Greatest Hits, which I don't think sold very well, and so presumably they are giving that away. And Johnny Cash's current album, American For the Man Comes Around. There's some good cover versions there.
Again, another big
including-
sell. A big sell. We're really pushing
But
this.
it's quite
Some
kooky.
prizes are good,
Johnny
though.
Cash here does covers of things including Personal Jesus
Oh, right.
by Depeche Mode.
yeah.
We've got Bridge Over Troubled Water, his version of that. Desperado. And anyway, it's not bad. That's probably the best treat in that bunch. And,
Right.
I'm assuming there's some questions there, Carl.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
If you're a new
Okay.
listener, the way it works, I'll give you a cryptic clue and some
Very
initials,
cryptic.
and it sort of makes up a band.
Sort of.
Makes more sense when you hear it, I reckon.
Not particularly.
Wow, not really. Although
So-
people do get it. I just worry about
The
the
mental
state of our
health.
listeners. Go
Yeah.
on.
Right, so there's 3 of them. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
It's email only. I
Email
repeat,
only.
it is email only.
We
Can I
are
have that
too
email?
lazy to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Pilkies and making
Okay,
music.
here we go then. Number 1. There's normally 2 easy ones and a difficult one.
Sure.
So here we go.
Lies.
Number 1. Don't argue with him. He ain't going to change his mind.
Don't argue with him, he ain't going to change his mind.
Yeah, that's AA.
AA.
That's, yeah.
I feel like one of the A's is already. Like, already angry. Is that a band? He ain't gonna change his mind. I don't know, but that's where my mind went, and it's not going anywhere else.
So that's the
Don't
first
argue with him,
one.
He's not going to change his mind. What do you mean, Presumably you've got them written out, haven't
Yeah,
you?
I'm just thinking about what the answer is, so I didn't write the answer down.
Oh, don't worry, they get it. Yeah, don't worry.
What do you, well, you can't remember it? You came up with it. There's only 3.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
No, it's not weird. It's incompetent.
Right, the second one, anyway, I hope you get this.
Okay.
I hope you get this. Email in and tell us the answer.
This is a shambles, isn't
Hang
it?
on a
Come on,
minute.
keep going.
Go on.
He always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. P.
And you don't know
You
the
don't know
answer.
that is?
I'm sure it'll come to me once I see it on email.
But it'll come to me. No, you're getting the answer. That's not it coming to you. That's you reading the freaking answer. He always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. P. Prince? The artist formerly known as Prince?
What do you mean? Once they get it, you'll agree with them.
I'll know if it's the one I had down as the answer.
This is brilliant.
Come on,
Imagine
it's
Jeremy Paxman doing that going,
Yeah, University
"What-
Time."
Is that right? Go on.
Right, so that's that one.
Give us that one again.
He always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. P.
But you're confused. I don't understand how you can be confused.
What do you mean? He's always confused.
All right, what's the final one?
The third one, I'll have to put that woman in the oven. And that's AB.
All right, quickly give us them again.
What? What? I feel like when I was writing Rockbusters, I wrote one very similar to this. And now I'm wondering what mine was. But I'm pretty sure the letters were different. Because I also had one about killing a woman. Okay, nope, yeah, okay.
Right, so the first one, don't
Never
argue
mind.
with him. He
Yeah.
ain't going to change his mind. That's AA.
Angry already.
He always
Already
gets
angry.
what he wants
Heads!
and doesn't worry about anyone else.
I'm quite confident
That's
about
P.
this one.
And I'll have to put that woman in the oven. AB.
All right.
Okay.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
I'm going to play a classic track now by
unfortunate.
Neil Young, Alabama. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
Beautiful.
I don't know what AB would be.
Neil Young, Alabama. Carl is still confused. He's waiting. He's biting his fingers, waiting for an email to tell him the answer to the clue he made up but can't get. I love that as an experiment. As a I mean, that would confuse psychologists. That you come up with
Yeah.
something that you can't get. It's brilliant.
It happens.
Yeah, you came up with the question. You don't know the answer.
And you
I'm personally a person that's constantly writing stuff down. Like, I have my notepad and my phone, and I have, like, physical notepads everywhere. And every time I have an idea, since ADHD, I just immediately forget it. I always write stuff down. And every once in a while, I'll either be looking for an idea or be, like, bored and be like, I wonder what I wrote down. And then I'll read some. I don't remember having that thought ever. It's legit like reading somebody else's diary or whatever. Like it doesn't. And sometimes I'm like doing something else, so I'll write it like real cryptic, like I'll remember later, I'll work it out later and make it a proper thought. And then I read it, I'm like, what? This makes absolutely no sense. In what situation Did I come up with this? So, you know what, Carl? I feel you.
Them two, but you can't, and you made it up.
No, that's a
Look
thing.
at your face. I can play some adverts.
I love his little outraged voice. It happens, people. Trust me.
Honestly, Juan by Billy Corgan's new band there. Ex-Smashing Pumpkins. Sounds a bit like them, but I like it.
It's alright, not bad.
I like it.
You would seem to know, Rick, incidentally, that someone's got the right answer. So
Carl's
Carl now
relieved.
knows the answer, yeah.
Brilliant. Well done, Carl. You're a fool. Right.
Well, talking of which, it's a long time since we've had any White Van Carl. For those that don't remember this particular hot feature, we basically ask Carl some of the questions that are asked of a white van driver in the Sun. They always have this on Saturday afternoons. Anyway, here's the first one. They're not fascinating, Carl, but I'm just interested on your take, really.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do you make of Cilla Black quitting Blind Date after her husband sent a message from beyond the grave? Are you familiar with this story?
I didn't know that. What's that?
She went to see a medium, and supposedly her husband passed on information through the medium.
Alive on
which
air.
was incredibly vague, but persuaded
As
her
it
to
is.
quit live on air.
Well, it's about time, isn't it? If even dead people are saying enough's enough. But I'll tell you what, though, talking about ghosts and that, do you know how I'm into them?
Yeah.
Right? How weird do you think this is? Right?
Well, it's not true. Before you say it, play a record.
No, go on.
Let him speak.
Go on.
Right, it's this woman. I don't even know if it's ghost, really. It's just a bit weird.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
There's this woman, and she's not a woman, she's a kid.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
She's walking down like a street in her area. It's a nice day and everything. Everything's normal. She's walking down, and a woman comes up, cycling past. Right? The woman on the bike looks at the kid, absolutely terrified. Right? Got a really scary face on her.
Yeah.
The kid's thinking, why is she doing that?
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, she thinks nothing of it. Goes, I think she was playing in the park or whatever. Goes and has a nice day. About 15 years later.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, right.
She's, I don't know, I think she was going to work, right, on a bike.
She was riding her own bike.
Riding her own bike.
Runs into
cycling
herself
down the road.
as a kid.
Yeah.
Looks at the kid. That's the thing that happened, like, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
It's her on the bike looking at her as a kid.
Right.
Right.
Not another child.
No. So
Right.
it's her. She's seen herself.
Carl?
Where do you start with the questions?
So it's her. She's seen herself.
Frustration.
I mean, I don't know where to start.
Clearly.
Firstly, where's this information come from?
But I mean, why do you ever? I mean, I
has
don't
nothing
know
to do
what
with
part of
ghosts.
that you think can be true. I don't. I mean, honest. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. What are you talking about?
Bit weird, though, isn't it?
But it's not.
I love how
Nothing
that's
Nothing
his
happened
answer.
like that.
She said it did.
Well,
Who?
she's
Who?
wrong.
She said she saw herself.
She saw herself as a kid, didn't she?
Did she carry on riding
And as an
past?
adult when she was a kid.
Did she stop and talk to herself, or did she ride on by and think that's a bit weird? There's me as an 8-year-old. I won't stop. I'll be late for work.
yeah. If I'm late again, the boss said he'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
And where is this information? Did it happen to someone you know?
No,
You overheard it on the bus.
no, it was in the
internet.
14 Times.
Ah, right. Well,
Okay.
that's the answer.
Good.
We've
Okay.
got to the bottom of that.
right, good, brilliant.
Now, what do you make of David Blunkett accusing gangster rappers of making kids believe
Who
guns
is
are cool?
blind.
It's a hot
Okay,
topic.
interesting little tidbit there. Can you imagine, though, running in... At any age, running into yourself... At any age, even if it's your same age now or older version, younger version, whatever. Can you imagine running into yourself? That'd be freaking weird. And not like a doppelganger situation, like somebody that really, really looks like you. No. Yourself. Like, I'm curious to know what people would do. Like, I would chat to myself. I wouldn't be afraid of myself. Like, it's not like I'd be like, oh, Homan, or whatever. Like, I'd be like, hey, that's me. Sup, girl? Like, if it was the future, I'd ask, for advice. Who do I avoid? What do I do? What do I need to know? And if it's younger self, tell her what she needs to know to get to my position better. So, like, I wouldn't be afraid of myself. I don't get why that would be scary to some people. Like, I get it. I get the shock of it, but you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, I never understood the fear of ghosts. Like, if people that believe in ghosts believe that they are just dead people with unfinished business, why would you believe they would be evil spirits? I mean, it's just like a grandma that passed and now has dementia and she's lost wandering the halls or whatever. That's not scary. That's somebody's grandma, you know? Like, I never understood the how dead equals evil. That never made sense to me. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I have a story, but I'm not going to share it because it's crazy. It's not my own story either, so I'm probably going to tell it wrong. But it just, I never understood the scariness of it. Like, what is it? The Sixth Sense or whatever? Like, he was talking to the kid and helping him out. Like, it was just a guy that happened to be dead. Or like Casper, the friendly ghost. Like, they emphasize friendly because all other ghosts are supposed to be evil and scary or whatever. He had the uncles that were just like, they had a good time scaring people, but they weren't evil. Like, there's no evilness in death. I don't get it!
Carl, kids believe guns are cool. It's a hot topic there, Carl. I imagine you've got some strong opinions.
He's saying what?
He is saying, basically, that all this rap music is advocating gun
Rap
use
music.
and violence against people. And he's very worried about it.
Nah.
Okay. All right. Next one.
Have you thought about going into politics? 'Cause I'll tell you this, they wouldn't be able to argue with you, really, in the Houses of Parliament. Where would they start?
Yeah. My fellow is an idiot.
Yeah.
No, but violence has always been about, isn't it? Like cowboys and Indians, they didn't have PlayStations and Tupac then, and there was still
There you go.
violence.
What do you
go.
mean? In the Wild West?
I understood it.
Do you know what I mean? So
the
you
world,
can't really blame
period.
it on stuff. It'll always happen. That's that's the world, and it's made up of different types and that.
Again, he's right. Again, he's sort of right in a way, in his,
Not
in
sort
his
of, he's right.
innocence, in his buffoonery.
I didn't hear what he said.
He just said there's always been violence. You know what I mean? It's sort
Even
of like...
dinosaurs. Look at them. They killed
And
And then he went too far
yeah.
and made himself sound
No,
like a
but
fool again.
I'm just saying, it's always happened. It always will.
And then he went too
Don't
far.
don't try and change it.
Yeah, just chill out is what you're saying.
Do you know what we should do? We should all
that
get
was
on our
great.
bike, go and find ourselves when we're little and go, be careful what you do in life.
There you go. Oh my god. And then he went too
Oasis,
far.
Supersonic, still good,
Still
isn't
as
it?
good as ever.
Still
Oh,
good on
man.
XFM 104.9 with
What
Gervais,
fun.
Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington.
You'll be pleased, Rick.
Go on.
Ricky Anderson has emailed in.
Dickers!
Dickers, Danderson.
Oh, what are you
he's,
doing, Dindo?
He's probably our biggest fan.
Diddler, you little diddler!
Exactly. He has emailed in, as ever. Ricky, your show fascinates me. How do you maintain such levels of senseless drivel? That's from Randers, from
Easily.
Randy Anders. as I
Little
call him.
diddle doggers!
Oh! So, thanks again,
Dudley.
for that, yeah.
Well done. He's yeah, that's great. I
Nice
get
stuff,
a
eh?
buzz. I was disappointed last week where he didn't. What? Ask him why he's didn't
He
email us
didn't
last.
respond
Didn't
last week.
chime
Yeah, it's a
in.
shame,
Probably
that.
busy. I don't believe he had something better to do.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so.
I can't believe that of anyone
No,
when
no, on
you've
a
got this
Saturday
sort of
afternoon.
level,
Exactly.
intense chat. What have you done this week, Carl?
Well, I've had a few days off, haven't I?
Yeah,
Still, doing stuff for this show and that, but managed to
Well,
get a
not
few
really.
hours in.
yeah, not really.
Just doing nothing, and bought a place. So I was looking at kitchens,
Yeah.
weighing some of them up, and
Yeah. Checking them out.
checking them out, and also ordered a sofa.
Yeah.
Nice sort of comfy sort of leatherish
What a coincidence. That's going to be me in a couple months.
sofa.
A leatherish.
Oh,
I don't even
like
want to
leather
think about it.
sofas. I don't-
No, but what are you picturing?
A leather sofa.
A leather sofa.
Yeah,
I
but
just
like
it's
what?
squeaky and it's.
No, this isn't. This
isn't
isn't.
it?
No, this isn't like that.
But I want.
I have
really,
a genuine question. I'm sorry. Well, they kind of made it relate, but it's really off topic. But I've been looking at couches because I'm going to need a couch. And I got really interested in the Chesterfield couches. Now, I understand that proper original Chesterfield couches have to be leather and blah, blah, blah. And they're like extremely comfortable and stuff. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. One, because I can't afford it. And two, because I don't really want a leather couch. It sticks to your ass when it's hot. Not my thing. But I was wondering, like, you know how everything that's good always has imitations. I was wondering more like imitation Chesterfield. Are the buttons, the bajillion little buttons they have, is that not uncomfortable? Because I understand they can make an imitation either comfortable or not comfortable. My question lies specifically in all the buttons at the back. It just seems like it'd be uncomfortable, and I've read up on like Reddit and people's opinions on it, and everybody goes on and on about how comfortable they are, especially like the original leather ones. And I can't help but wonder, because like the couches I've liked in my life have really like fluffy big marshmallow pillows on them, and I don't know, like a lean, unstuffed back with a bunch of just like buttons doesn't sound comfortable to me. So does anybody know? Like, say not leather, whatever other material you want to use. Is it good? Because again, I can't afford one, but if I save up, maybe I can. Like a knockoff. But I'm just curious in the design, because nobody talks about, oh yeah, like it feels all wrong. It's kind of like the bus drivers or whatever, where they have those things on their seats and it's just like the big wooden beads. And I always think to myself, that must be uncomfortable as hell to sit on for hours. But they, like, a lot of people have it, so apparently it's like extremely comfortable. That kind of stuff, just, I don't know, man. I guess it's one of those things you gotta. I have tried a few, but I never liked them. But I guess it's more personal opinion. But if anybody has any like opinions on those Chesterfield couches or whatever, please let me know. I'm very curious, like legit very curious.
Isn't it?
No, this isn't like that.
But I want a really old, sinky dainty fabric. I want a sofa that is as comfortable as a bed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if it was acceptable, you'd have a bed in your lounge, wouldn't you? If that was allowed, without seeming like you were sort of...
Hey, in your own home,
elderly,
anything's allowed.
Or
that would be good. And I'd have a drip going in.
Yeah.
Sort of like with nutrients. You know, I can't be bothered to chew.
No, you can't,
Sort of lager with sort of vitamins.
Vitamins
and
pumped in,
then
That's
one
lazy.
going from my knob down to the toilet.
To the lavatory,
and with all the remote controls. And that would be amazing.
To be fair, you're almost there, Rick. I've certainly seen the toilet tubing when I've been round in the past.
My dad's bed, right? My dad would never change his chair. My mum would try and get rid of it because it would just fit to him, and it'd just be absolutely dilapidated, right? And
What,
same
it's
with
like
his bed.
he had like his own chair in the lane?
Yeah, his own chair, right? And then and his bed, right? When they had separate rooms towards the end, and his bed, right? It had it for years, and it was a big dip. It was just like a spoon in the middle, where it was concave. And my mum used to just vacuum it out.
Oh!
Well, the little bits are like, you know, he'd have a fag in bed, or he'd do his roll-ups in bed.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
he
that's
said to
grotesque.
him, why do you like that bed? It's curved, you know, he goes, it means I can't fall out. I did, it was like in a hammock. That's great.
That can't have been good for his back.
Well, I don't think it mattered. A hammock would be. I really would love.
I don't like
hammock.
hammocks.
I think a big beanbag
I'm
would
so
be good, wouldn't it?
stupid.
With a
I
telly.
don't like beanbags either. Dude, I get dizzy on hammocks. The simple, like, little swaying motion that to any normal human being would be, like, soothing and calming, it makes me dizzy. How lame is that? I have the worst case of motion sickness I've never met anybody else that got dizzy on a freaking hammock. Like, mine is bad. So, I love the concept and I love the way they look, and it's all fun. I'm very pro hammock, but I can't use one.
A beanbag as big as a bed would be amazing.
Yeah, but this is still the telly thing, because do you prop yourself up a little bit to watch it? Do you watch it on the side, which is annoying? Do you turn the telly on the side?
I've always wondered about that.
The weird thing is, right, you know, I've mentioned before about certain things that are just right, like your hand, 5 fingers is just enough, right? One more,
The sex tips.
it ruins stuff.
Yeah, one less.
One less, and you know, I was saying about drying your pots and that'd be really slippery and that.
Yeah.
Right? And the weird thing is, right,
I think
bed,
that's what nature had in mind.
no,
Yeah.
but like my mum and dad, right, they moved to this little house, right, and they had loads of furniture that they've collected over the years without chucking out, and they've moved to this small house, so they just had too much furniture, right?
Okay.
And they had this double bed, and that was for, like, you know, when friends come round and that, they can stay there. But the problem was he wanted to sort of put these wardrobes in the bedroom, right?
Right.
That went on either side of the bed.
Sort of wrapped around
Because
the
you can't
but
open
because
them.
the room was so small, he thought, I can sort that out,
Yeah.
right? And he sawed the bed.
He sawed the bed.
He sawed the
I've
whole
heard
thing,
this
so you've got,
before.
like, your mattress, your bed, and everything. And
What, he
sort
just sliced some off?
Like a big sandwich, just cut a bit off the edge.
cut the crust off.
About how much is that, would you say?
About 8 inches, 6
About
inches.
8 inches.
But hold on, but that
Well, he
won't
cut
work. Because it'll all fall out the side, and then what happened to the springs and all the supports and stuff?
He
It'll just
sorted it
collapse.
out. It didn't all come out and that. I mean, it's not the comfiest bed.
Clearly.
But the weird thing is, he did it, and even though it's only like that 8 inches or whatever, it totally ruined it. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, of course it
Well,
would.
duh.
no, but what do you think I mean? I don't mean it ruined it as in it looks a mess.
No, it would have been uncomfortable.
No, you just roll
Not
off.
even that though. Just the fact it's that little bit shorter. It's like, God, for 2 people, this is hard work now. This is like you haven't got enough room, even though it's only 8 inches.
Why did he build the wardrobes first without measuring, putting the...
I think he did all that and then thought, oh, it'll easily fit in there, and it didn't. So he had to sort of saw a bit off the bed. But it's just weird how only 8
Did
inches.
he use one of those electric saws?
Yeah.
And there
That's
was just,
amazing.
presumably there was just kind of
What
sort of
did it-
material and wood just flying everywhere.
What did he do with the legs? Did he have to move the legs
He
in a
moved,
bit?
he moved the legs. Looking at it, right, once it's got like the quilt on it and everything, you wouldn't know. I was like,
Sure.
yeah, that's all right, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
And I went to bed at night. He's like, you know, sleep well. Got up in the morning after having about 45 minutes sleep and said, something not right with that.
Yeah.
And he
You
goes, "What do
really are
mean?"
your father's son, aren't you?
I said,
There's something not
I said,
right
it's
with
not
that.
right. And he said, oh, well, I said, what have you done? It doesn't seem the same. And he said, oh, I had to shorten it, sort of thing, you know, to fit in the gap. I said, well, I can't sleep in it. I said that, and there was a big kerfuffle. My mum was saying, look, you have our bed then, and we'll sleep in that one. And my dad was like, sod that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ruined.
You know?
some idiot cut it.
So there was a big debate going on about where we should sleep, and I was saying, look, you know, I only come and see you like
Sleep in the
every
cupboard.
couple of, you know, probably once
Can
every
I?
6 months.
I'm not being funny, but next time we go home, can I film it? Just for, do you know what I mean, Channel 4 or something?
Well, you know, I mean, the
Documentary
Osbournes is
style.
not on at the moment. The
Yeah, I know.
Pilkingtons.
It'd be,
That would be extraordinary.
oh, can we film it?
That's brilliant.
Is anyone from Channel 5 listening to this show?
Or Bravo.
Yeah.
The Pilkingtons.
Weird though. Weird.
Play a record?
What do you want to play? Do you want to play? Do you fancy playing some of yours?
What, have we got
I
anything?
don't know, something that was sent in to you, maybe.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll tell you, yeah, I'd like to play this. Yeah, Bronze Age Fox. Band from Bristol, my neck of the woods.
Always
play the
working,
tune,
Carl.
play the tune.
Always working. He's
Play the
always
tune.
working. He's on the ball. He's on the ball. He's on the Bobby ball. Coldplay.
Cutting
Simon
mattresses.
Sexton, 104.9, I'm Richey with
The
Steve
only
Hodgson.
way that can kind of sort of work is if it's like those foam mattresses, but it's still just. I tell you, when I had to map out my personal room, where I am right now, to make sure everything fit, like the desk, the PC, I got the green screen, there's the bed, and there's just like other furniture that was already here when I moved in, and there's nowhere else to put it. And when I had to rearrange everything to make it fit, there was no way to rearrange things properly without, first of all, just scratching the hell out of the floor, and second of all, there was no like angle to move stuff around and shift. And so I just I measured everything, and I mapped it out on a piece of paper, and I converted it all into just centimeters, and I had a piece of paper, and I just mapped everything, and I cut out the furniture, the sizes, and I just mapped it out and just Tetrised it until it worked. And then when I figured it worked, I obviously left myself some centimeters just in case. And then when I did it, it fit perfectly. Like, I couldn't believe how freaking perfect it was. So if you ever need to do that, that's a really good way to go. Just, like, map it out on a piece of paper. If you use the metric system, like most of the freaking world, it's really easy to convert and just make everything make sense. The other day, there was a guy trying to, like, show a life hack of how to cut a plank of wood in exactly the middle if the plank of wood was, like, a really weird measurement, like it wasn't exact, and he was doing it in inches, and he showed the hack and whatever, and it was a cool hack. And then he said, okay, so if we had to do it measuring, and he started throwing out numbers like this plank of wood is like 3 inches and 4/16 of an inch, and then if we divide that, we have 5/18 divided by 2/19. Like, what? Dude, just use freaking centimeters. Use millimeters. That's crazy. What is that? What is that? I hate that system. It makes no sense.
Bilkington, Carl, what are you doing?
I wish that's how you spoke.
Right, well, play the scientist, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with Stephen Merchant and Carl Bilkington. Carl, what are you doing?
I wish that's how you spoke.
Right, what are you doing then?
Let's have a quick reprise, if we could, of the Rockbusters clues.
Yeah, Rockbusters, if you've just tuned in, you've missed it this week. It's your 3
Well, no,
clues.
you haven't. That's why we're giving the clues again.
Yeah, I know, but if they haven't.
Eh?
What?
Say if they've been busy.
Just give the clues again.
First one.
God.
They were saying the same thing.
Because he isn't going to change his mind.
Somebody's
That's
already
AA.
angry. That's all I got.
Second one, he always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. That's P. Yeah.
And I have no
And
idea.
the third and final one, I might have to put that woman in the oven. AB.
Interesting.
Are we telling him or still?
No.
chance?
People have still got a chance
Does
to
Carl
win
know yet?
Ordinary prizes. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Oh, yeah,
We've
he
still
does.
got features to come though, Steve. It's
Go on.
incredible. We've still got Ritual. Remember last time?
What about Ricky
People in India's
Ridiculous?
good
I
on
was
Flathead.
excited about
Yeah.
that.
We've got Do We Need 'Em? I've got That's Ridiculous.
That's a
Do
great
you
game.
What should we
really?
do next? What should we do next?
It's too much.
Do we need him out of the way?
Let's
Get
do
Do We Need 'Em out of the way?
Yeah, just
Let's explain it again.
if you're new, I'm sort of on a bit of a mission to find out. You know, we've got a lot of animals and insects in the world and stuff.
Mission is a great word.
Do we need them all?
It still amuses me.
So we've found out we've got to keep jellyfish. We've done octopus. She said we've got to keep them. This week, snails.
Do we need them?
His crazy eyes, his face just looks so invested in this. Oh, man.
Just doing some research, right? I'm sort of working my way through different creatures and insects and stuff that's on the planet.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
And finding out if we need them or not. Right?
yeah.
Do you know much about snails?
Well, sea snails,
Well, yeah.
snails in general. Don't know much about snails, land snails. Know a bit about sea snails, like whelks, top shells, that sort of thing.
Would you say they're important?
What sort of sense do you mean by important?
Say if we had to sort of get rid of some animals and insects and that because we're running out of room.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'll tell you what I know about some snails. I don't know if this applies to sea snails as well. I mean, I called you today because a lot of other places are shut.
Yeah.
Right? So,
You don't say that! He basically just said, I called you because I got nothing better! You're the only one that picked up! That's awful. That's
I know a shut.
awful.
Right? So,
Yeah.
I know they
Oh,
like to eat stamps, apparently. The glue on stamps,
I
love it.
confirmed that.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently a lot of letters and stuff aren't getting to where they're meant to be getting because snails are crawling into
They
letterboxes.
had to
and
close
eating
down
stamps.
mailboxes
That
'cause
obviously
of that.
doesn't
Yes!
apply to the sea ones,
Yes.
but that's a problem they're causing.
All right.
Were you aware of that?
No, I didn't know
No?
that.
Bet you're glad you answered the phone today. Right? They love beer,
Beer, yeah. Who doesn't?
and also, I don't know if this is right, but I heard that they sleep for 13 years, or can do.
Right. I wouldn't know if they can sleep for 13 years or not. But
The guy's
sea snails
so
are pretty
chill.
important. Yeah, they do quite a good job in the sea. They graze on algae and
But
they provide food for other animals. I mean, you can say that about any fish, you know, or any animal. Why do they exist?
would you be upset if, you know, someone said, we're getting rid of them?
Oh yeah.
You would be.
They're an animal, you know. I wouldn't.
Forget being like,
There we go. We can't get rid of him because this guy will be upset. That's reason enough for this ridiculous mission.
you would be.
They're an animal, you know. I wouldn't.
Forget being like favouritism and all that I get for them, right? There'll be
Yeah.
other things knocking around you can sort of spend your time looking after. You'll still have a job. Don't be worrying about that. Because I'm not going to get rid of all the fish. Jellyfish need looking after, so you're safe.
Yeah.
But do we need them? Come on, there's loads of people saying, come on, we've got to move on through the animals, and you're holding them up saying, well, I want to keep them.
He's pressuring
He's
me.
saying we need to... That just sounds a bit crazy to me.
Just imagine. Do you know what I mean? And they would come to you because you work in an aquarium, so they'd be asking for your advice.
Right.
And you're slowing it down.
Well, they asked for my advice and I'm giving it to them, so...
There you go.
That's what I think, anyway.
There you go.
Yeah, but snails, you know, I mean, like I say, they drink beer and that, you know.
Oh, that's so
what
cute.
do they do apart from some food for a whelk?
They were around... Their descendants were around a lot longer than we have been.
Yeah, they've been around a long time, but what have they done?
What have
they
you
survived that
done?
long, so they must be doing something pretty good.
Well, apparently they sleep for 13 years, so
There you go.
really, even though they've been around for ages...
I think that sounds a bit... I don't think they sleep for 13 years.
not all of them, just the tired ones. So, snails,
Just the
do we
time.
need them?
Well,
He already
I
said
just
yes.
think they've got to, just as, it's not for us to say, do we need them or not, we can't.
So you think...
It's amazing that he's trying to bully the guy to say, all right, we can get rid of him. Wow.
We should keep them.
Yeah, definitely.
He's annoyed. Oh, we should keep him. Why did he start with jellyfish? Okay, I guess maybe that jellyfish is like the first thing that came to mind because they're almost all water and blah, blah, blah. Okay, then we went to octopus because, I can see the relationship from jellyfish to octopus. But it's interesting to me that he kind of got stuck on that kind of stuff. And why isn't he going to things that everybody hates, like roaches? Do we need them? And I am pretty sure he can find a lot of people saying, no, get rid of them. They're awful. Mosquitoes, do we need? No. I hate them. Like, get the obvious ones out of the way where everybody will agree. I mean, personally, I don't know enough to actually say, okay, no, but mosquitoes are important because of this, or roaches. I really doubt roaches are important. I really doubt it. But mosquitoes, maybe they contribute something. I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to look that stuff up because the other day I had to look up thumbtacks in Google because I couldn't remember what they were called in Spanish. I had to look up thumbtacks. I was like, wait, I think they're called chinches. And I Googled it to make sure. And they are, but also chinches are like bed bugs. So I Googled an image of chinches. And my phone got full of bugs. It freaked me out. I had to go back real fast because it just, I hate that. So I can't Google this kind of stuff. Especially when I have like questions, how many eyes do spiders have, and those kind of questions and things that interest me on species. I can't do it because I can't see that. If I can get the information without having pictures, it's fine, but I can't see them. But I feel like he needs to go to those things that just are wildly just hated by everyone. Like mosquitoes would be the next thing on my list.
Go, I'm proud of you. That was
getting really quite annoyed.
I know. What did he think he was doing? What? I don't know what you tell these people. I mean, you don't get their permission to play this out, do you? You just don't tell
the
them.
thing is, right, I sort of told him what it was about, but we won't say who he is or where he works, because it doesn't matter. I just needed to speak to someone who knows.
I know the fact that you were trying to get an answer out of him by suggesting that he would be safe, because he could look after jellyfish if he gave the okay to destroy snails.
He was getting livid, you could tell.
Oh, God. Brilliant.
That
So
was
it's been
fun.
around a long time, but what have they done? Well, that was great, Carl. Play a record. Well done.
Bit of Amy Man.
Well done.
I'm obsessed with this song, Red Vines. It's brilliant.
Okay.
I love that. Amy Man, Red Vines. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington.
You mentioned earlier when we had our regular email from Dickie Anderson.
Yeah.
Randers, as I call him.
Dandy Sam.
Yeah.
The amount
he
of
mentioned
nicknames
we didn't
they
get
gave
anything
him.
from him last week. We
No.
didn't get anything from him last week. Anyway, he's obviously listening, Rich, because he's emailed in to explain his absence. Dear Ricky, sorry for not tuning in last week, only I was in HMV returning the 14 copies of The Office I got for Christmas. That's from Randers. So,
Well played.
He's explained himself.
Well done.
He's
dear.
excused himself.
Oh,
good.
Anders, we should get him on one day.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Carl. That's ridiculous. 3 amazing scientific facts, one of which...
Have we done
is
this before?
spurious.
Oh, yeah, we
Okay.
have.
Okay,
I remember.
Girls can't throw because the part of their brain that allow men to throw properly in a girl is used up in emotion. 2, gravity isn't instantaneous. It works at the speed of light. The force of gravity. 3, statistically, you're more likely to be trampled by a donkey than dying in a plane crash.
No.
One's
Even
bullshit.
though the last one sounds daft, I think I've read that. About the donkey thing.
Okay.
So, girls... What's the first one?
Girls can't throw properly because the part of the brain that allow men to throw is used up in emotion in a woman. Gravity isn't instantaneous. It works at the speed of light. So when you drop something, the force kicks in at the speed of light.
What do you reckon, Steve?
Well, it's not for me to say.
Is this a trick one where none of them are ridiculous? Or
One of those 3. One
I
of
love
those
the
3 is
word.
not true.
Right, well, it's definitely not the donkey, right? So,
Good.
I reckon the
I feel like
girl
he's
one
sweating.
throwing stuff.
Is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well done.
Well
Very
done.
well done indeed.
Yeah.
Very well done indeed.
That's 2 out of 2 he's got so far.
Good
There you
job.
go.
Yeah.
Well,
The last
I'll
one was
teach you some
hilarious,
stuff,
by the
yeah.
way.
right.
I've always been fascinated by the donkey fact, because it is an extraordinary fact that more people are killed apparently by donkeys
Yeah.
than they are by airplane crashes.
Well, I suppose in countries where they're used and
Yeah.
used a lot, that they go a bit mad and squash it.
but my concern is that there's
But that's just a testament to how unlikely it is to be in a plane crash. Like, statistically, how not often it happens.
when you go on a plane, there's so many checks. I mean, it takes on 40 minutes to go through all the checks: the air pressure, the cabin pressure, the fuel, checking the flights, the takeoff, all the rest of it.
Which makes
Our
it safe.
checks for donkeys.
Nothing.
Did someone close the gate? I think so.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's our
is
donkey
he annoyed?
checks.
Is he annoyed or not?
Yeah.
You're not working him too hard, are you? Yeah, yeah. He's got his hand. Is there two holes for the ears? Yes.
Well, I think that's what's happening. I don't think it's accident. I think they're picking us off. I think they're so annoyed that a nickname for them is ass.
Yeah.
And they've got to wear the little hat. They've got to ride give kids rides on the beach. And I think they're just sort of annoyed.
Yeah.
Maybe they're sort of just picking us off one by one.
Yeah.
Teaching us a
I've
lesson.
been going to the
If
beach
we
all
had
wrong.
the same stringent checks on
Exactly.
donkeys as we do on international flights, maybe there'd be a little less there.
There you go. Exactly. There you go.
Wise, if slightly incoherent words.
Go on, Carl.
Got that right. So
He's not proud
Go
of
on, Carl.
If
himself.
slightly incoherent words.
Go on, Carl.
got that right. Acid. I would sort you out with some science.
Ooh, I like
Brilliant.
that.
I forgot the puns in mine, didn't I? I forgot the puns.
You did.
Go on.
Right, so, you asked to sort of be taught some science and that last week after being taught about war, so, did some research, and, there's a few things, I think we'll just cover one of them now.
Go on.
We've talked a lot about hairy kids.
We have
I
discussed that a
love
lot.
the fact that Simon Sharma has never started a programme like that.
And last week or a week before, it was like we talked a lot about, animals losing their heads, and it's just the way he phrases stuff is amazing. And that image just reminded me of the episode of Rick and Morty with the vat of acid. I love that episode.
Jacobites. We've talked a lot about hairy kids. Go on.
It's a little bit, I mean, it's not your traditional science stuff, but it's still
More left
interesting
field.
and it's a little bit...
I would
Yeah,
expect
we'll talk about
nothing
hairy
else.
kids. We have disproportionately, honestly. I think this show's talked about hairy kids more than any other radio show.
Well, it's one that...
Sorry, I noticed both of you there dropped the H, or the H, or however it's
I
pronounced.
had to, 'cause
So
it-
airy,
airy
obviously mean
kids, yeah.
hairy.
Yeah.
Hairy children, not
Yeah.
sort of airy, kind of light-headed or...
Yeah.
Well, there was the case of the one who lived in China,
Yeah.
and
Which was weird for 2 reasons, wasn't it?
yeah,
Well, go on.
one was like he was covered in hair,
That's already weird.
and the doctor sort of checked him over and said, well, yeah, he is hairy, but he's quite healthy apart from he had a little bit of eczema and a boil. That was the main bit of the story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But this one, right, we have sort of talked about it, and you weren't having any of it at the time.
What?
This next bit of science I'm telling you about.
Go on then.
Right. Remember when I told you about a lad who was living at home with his mum and dad, right? Everything's, normal life, go to school, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Then I think his mum and dad had an argument, and it kicked off a bit, and he thought, I'm sick of this. It's happening all the time now. They kept having arguments, so the kid ran off into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
God.
Now, he left, he went and ran in the woods, and he ended up living with some monkeys,
Right.
Mowgli.
right? And he thought, this isn't a bad life, you know, there's no arguments going on.
Sure.
He was getting on with them. And the
He
weird
loved
thing
bananas.
is, this is where the science bit comes in.
Okay.
He grew a load of hair on his body.
That's not true.
We already talked
not
about
true.
this.
It is
I've heard
true.
this.
It's an acquired characteristic.
I bet someone will back me up on this.
But no, you can't. You can't grow hair like that. You might get a little bit more down here. They might the erectile tissue might, they won't fall out as much. That would, but you don't
He said
actually
what?
grow a big mane if
Well-
you're cold and you're a human.
Well, he did. He did. This lad did. I know it sounds a bit strange and that, but he was living with the monkeys, and because it was cold, his body reacted to it.
Listen. He was no hairier than he would have been if he was walking around naked on a cold day, with or without living with monkeys.
The fact that he was living with monkeys makes no difference.
No, I know, but I'm trying to get, picture it in your head what it's like.
Although Mickey Dolenz was always pretty hairy.
Right? So he was living with them, and he went into town or something one day
Oh, yeah.
to get some food, and the people there were like, hang on a minute,
What?
that isn't a monkey.
Mm.
Well, he went in naked.
No, it was there covered in hair.
He had
Yeah,
overalls.
but naked, but covered in hair, so it was decent. It was.
Yeah. But they that was a weird thing. They thought it was a monkey in the shop. And then they
So
went,
presumably he had a big long beard as well, because he couldn't shave, could he?
no, it's just covered. He looked like a monkey.
And they were happy to serve the monkey, were they? There's the monkey, he's
How
buying
did he
a
walk?
newspaper and
How
some
did he
milk.
walk? How did he walk, Carl? Did he walk upright or whistling along?
The picture that I saw on the internet, he was on all fours, but I
course
don't
he
know if
was.
that's when he
Of
was
course he
running
was.
away after they'd sort of, realised he was a kid. But this was a picture.
So he was a kid as well. He wasn't even like an adult with the beard.
No, he was a kid.
Brilliant.
And
The
people
beard
went-
kicked in a little bit.
So
earlier.
listen, so the
Go on.
people caught him.
You're an idiot.
The people caught him,
Yeah.
shaved him.
I
Idiot.
love the dryness of every time he says, "You're an idiot."
A little bit.
So
earlier.
listen, so the
Go on.
people
So good.
caught him.
You're an idiot.
The people caught him,
Yeah.
shaved him, right? Got it all off. Didn't grow back again.
Right.
It
You're an
grew.
idiot.
Well, like I say, people will have heard this story or read about it.
You're
and
an
they'll-
idiot.
And they'll email in. They don't let me down.
And they'll agree that you're an
And
idiot.
no.
Is this
they'll-
some
they'll
kind of
sing the
fable?
story.
You're an idiot.
So that's a little bit of science.
A little bit of.
You're an idiot.
That was his
Libertines, Time
science.
for Heroes, and XFM 104.9. Right, okay, so have you got
I
anything
feel like
that...
it was more science. All the facts he had about snails, like the sleeping 13 years and all that. I feel like that was more sciencey than the Mowgli kid.
is science, as opposed to nonsense?
Well,
Kid went off with some monkeys, grew hair,
Yeah.
came back, shaved him, it didn't grow back. I mean, just think. Right, something else.
there's a few things I found.
Yeah.
There's a fella
Oh, God.
who had a pups for 69 years. That was a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's the dog with the wig.
Wait,
that
estimated.
Yeah.
Damn.
there's the dog with the wig that we've discussed.
Imagine if you just...
Okay,
that
but
we
is there
discussed.
really nothing that could be done for this person, like surgically or anything? Just like a really swift kick to the abdomen or something? Can something not reset him? Like, I imagine, obviously, the normal things that work for hiccups, swallowing water real fast or getting scared or whatever, obviously didn't work. But is there nothing to be done? Because that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's the dog with the wig that we've discussed.
Imagine if you just tuned in.
Yeah.
There's the dog with the wig that we've already discussed.
That's sciencey.
Did we discuss that?
Not really.
Did I not tell you what he said? I did, didn't I? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What else have we got? Well, there's something here that you sort of know.
Is this going out live? At the
Yeah,
moment?
this is happening,
Right,
right?
go on.
This is happening?
You remember when you talked about sponges?
Yeah.
If you get a red sponge and a blue sponge.
You liquidise them, pour them back into a tank. After a few hours, that they know which was which, and they reform as a red sponge and a blue sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird.
I don't feel like they explained that properly, because what? Some species of sea sponges, particularly from the group Porifera, I don't know, have the remarkable ability to reform themselves after being passed through a sieve or even a blender. That's actually crazy. This is due to their simple structure and unique cellular properties. Okay, that's really cool. But what they said, I was imagining like dish sponges. You get a blue one, you get a red one. Like, they didn't word that properly.
Blue sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird when you told me.
That's sciencey.
Looked it up, did a bit of research.
Yeah.
Thought that's sort of sciencey.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with a mouse's brain.
Okay. Explain a bit
What?
more.
No, you can't.
If you get a dead mouse, put its brain into a blender,
Oh, why would you
you know,
know?
blend it up, leave it standing for a bit.
Making that up, aren't you? You're confusing this. You watch Nigella Lawson make some sort of pudding.
No.
What do you mean? It won't work
Let
with
him
the brain.
finish.
Well, it does with a. I mean, not human brain. Don't be trying that.
Although.
But, no, a mouse one. A mouse one.
And what happens?
It sort of reforms, goes back together again. No, it's you know, because apparently it's made up of the same stuff as.
But it doesn't, does
As
it?
the
Because if it's
sponge?
dead, if it's a dead brain, the cells can't act anyway. The fact the sponge is that it doesn't kill the cells, it liquidizes them, it doesn't kill the cells.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be a dead
Yeah.
brain anyway. It would have to be a live brain taken out from a live mouse for the cells to be getting oxygen and working and being sensitive to each other. And that, I don't see how that could work like it does in sponges.
I mean, do you know what I mean?
You're not a
No.
scientist.
I just sort of read it. Going, oh, that's interesting. I'll tell Ricky and Steve about it.
Yeah.
You're quizzing me as if I've come up with it.
No.
If someone
Bad
else
idea.
has done it and said
Yeah.
it works.
Sure.
Said it
So
worked.
I'm not.
Do
I'm not
you think ghosts are behind it, or do you think there's a scientific explanation for it?
no, it's just one of them weird things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what you sort of.
You know, Carl's obsession, and I know where he stands with ghosts and some supernatural things and stuff. I can't remember. He has touched the topic of like alien abductions. That one guy, which apparently was like a real story of a Chilean guy that disappeared in a field for like 3 days, came back, had a beard. It's been 3 days, but for everybody else, it's like 10 seconds or whatever. Has he mentioned, how does he feel about aliens? I'm very curious. I want to know, like, his thoughts and his take on that. Because I imagine if, for him, ghosts, ghouls, goblins, and all that are real, I mean, I see him believing all kinds of, like, I see him thinking The World of Worlds is like a documentary or something, right? Like, he can believe it. But I'm just curious as to why they don't touch that topic as much.
Signs covered for this week.
Well, that was another.
I guess he's more of a
barnstorming
ghosty
feature.
person.
So that's what you sort of signs covered for this
Yeah.
week.
Well, that was another.
That was
barnstorming
very
feature
science.
as well, Pilkington.
Is that it? Is that the two things you got
Thanks
this
very
week?
much for that.
Well, I mean, they're the
There's
one
nothing behind them. Do you know what I mean by this? There's not like a weight of intellect behind these facts.
Why
It's
don't you make that your science project for this week? Find a dead mouse somewhere, Carl, and a blender, and bring that in next week. We'll do it live on air. See what happens.
No, thank you. Gross.
Do you feel sort of let down a little bit sometimes with our reactions?
What are you expecting us to do? What are you expecting us to just like look at you, open mouthed,
Good question.
staring at you in awe?
just like go, oh god, yeah, where did you find that out? And like,
Yeah, but
you
Well,
If we ask you, you never tell us.
We know where you found it out. You looked on the internet and a strange homemade website by a maniac somewhere, who puts on stupid things that he heard through Chinese whispers. That's where you get your information from. I doubt that anything
Reddit.
you've ever come up with is verified. If it is, it's luck.
Tumblr.
But what do you expect me to do for you? Do you know what I mean? I'm just.
You know, I'd like to know what the source of the information is. I'd like it to be, you know, a research study by the University of Columbia, rather
There you go.
than, you know, a guy who calls himself Mr. Pickles. On a website somewhere, www.lunatics.com.
I mean, oh god.
Some kind of evidence. Do you know what I mean?
I must warn you now. You know that Steven Spielberg thing's coming, Taken. Yeah.
Okay.
About alien abduction. When you watch it, just remember this: it's not a documentary.
No.
Okay?
Why? No. Oh my God. Thank you for saying the exact same thing I just said. But to Carl. Oh my God. So I went to sharing a mind with Carl Pilkington to sharing one with Ricky Gervais. That's crazy. That's I wasn't expecting that.
Not
Okay.
an abduction.
That's
when
crazy.
you watch it, just remember this: it's not a documentary. Okay?
All right. And
All right.
You remember E.T.? We were discussing that earlier. You know that's not fact. It's actual fact.
That's crazy, dude.
Black Star Radiohead from the Bends on XFM.
I love when you can't plan those
Rick
kind
John
of
has
things.
emailed in.
Yeah.
It looks here like he's maybe trawled the web himself. I mean, I don't know if people just immediately leap onto the web every time Carl says something in his defence.
I think our listeners are always on the web.
Yeah. Anyway, he seems like he's reprinted here a news story, which seems to confirm Carl's Monkey Boy story.
Yeah, what was the news
Doctors
story?
baffled by boy 6 covered in ape-like hair. Doctors in Kazakhstan are baffled after finding a 6-year-old boy covered in ape-like hair.
Yeah.
The boy, called Ablay, was found in a remote mountain village close to the Chinese border. He's covered in thick hair from head to toe and has an oval-shaped skull. Doctors suspect nuclear radiation or a genetic disorder may be responsible.
Fine.
But it's an
Fine.
interesting bit
But,
here.
but sorry, it's not that you could have genetic defects. I've seen lots of people born with long noses, 5 feet, etc. I'm saying
You've
that
been
he
to
wasn't
Bristol,
normal.
Did he just
except
say
for born
5
with-
feet as in being that wait, 5 feet? Like 5 feet? Or 5 foot high as being some kind of mutation? Excuse me, some of us are just freaking tiny, okay? So calm yourself.
Not that you could have genetic defects. I've seen lots of people born with long noses, 5 feet, etc. I'm saying
You've
that
been
he
to
wasn't
Bristol,
normal. He wasn't normal, and then went to live with monkeys and grew the hair.
Well,
That's
no,
my
true.
point.
But it says his mother and father are distant relatives. Such marriages are common in the Kazakhstan mountain hamlets. Now, the village elders were consulted as to what to do with him, right? Now, these are the village elders. These are the wise men of the village. These are the people, presumably, that all year long are telling the village how to live, how to survive,
Yeah,
what
you're in
to
charge
do.
because you've lived longest.
Yeah, exactly. You presumably are solving any kind of moral conundrums,
Yeah.
any sort of awkward things. Do you know what they suggested that they do with their hairy son?
Go on.
Send him to the circus.
The Carl's nodding.
Put him in the circus. That was what they suggested, and the mother actually wanted him to go to school.
Instead of I
instead
don't
of
know,
a
school or circus, I don't know. We don't know what's better for him.
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
We must consult the elders.
What do you think, Carl?
It's not a bad life, is it?
What, the circus?
Yeah.
Well,
How do
ran
you
away from
know?
it.
I
Yeah.
love it. But remember that thing that I saw about that fella who, I don't know if you told
Swallowed
me
by a
it was,
hippo?
Go on. Tell us now. You've hooked me. Come on. You can say it. It's okay. What, are you worried that it might be insulting to someone?
Well, it's not nice, but...
Well, you're not taking the mickey out of it. You're telling us... Go on.
It's just, it was in that book again that you got me. You know, the book full of weird people.
Go on.
And things that are wrong with them, and hairy people, and
Yeah.
lad with 3 legs and that. There's a fella, basically just a head and a little body on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Right? Picture of him having a shave. And he was shaving with his mouth bit.
Okay.
With his
Wait.
Shaving.
I'll bite this time. Just to be more in topic of to what the hell they're talking about. I'm curious. Okay, I've seen pictures of this guy. I can't remember his name, but okay.
With his mouth bit.
With his tongue.
Like that on the radio.
Yeah.
Just like-
Carl with no
Thank
good
you.
impression of a man
Great
shaving with his
visual.
mouth.
Yeah. Well, it's just a head, bear in mind. He's doing an impression. Imagine a head with a very tiny body on a skateboard shaving with its tongue. That's what Carl was doing.
And he was depressed because he kept getting hats for Christmas.
But if you
You
were
know
in
what's fun? That he's like, oh, no, you can say it because you're not taking the mickey out of it. You're not making fun of him. It's fine. You're just saying it. And then, as he was saying it, Ricky's giggling like an idiot. And then he proceeds to just make fun of it.
would just grow a beard, wouldn't you, rather than
Oh,
well, rather than go through all
But you
that
get
hassle?
it caught in the wheels of his skateboard.
True.
Clash. Rock the Casbah on XFM 104.9.
Okay, that was an
Refrigerator
interesting
merchant, Carl Pilkington.
way to cut it.
So
Sure.
the answers to this week's Rockbusters.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Want to give us the clues again in the answers?
Yeah, the first one was don't argue with him. He ain't going to change his mind. The initials there were AA. That's adamant. Adamant.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah,
good.
that's a good
That's
one.
That's a good one.
I didn't-
Second
never heard of
one,
that, but
he
that's a good
always
one.
gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. That was P. That was Pixies. Right.
Picks his. It kind of works, yeah.
And the
What?
third
No,
one
that
is
doesn't work. How does that work? Picks his. He always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. Picks his. I disagree with that word. I feel like Prince worked way better.
Picks his. It kind of works, yeah.
And the
Well, whatevs.
third one.
All right, I'll let you have that one.
I'll have to put that woman in an oven. That was AB. That was Anita Baker.
Never heard of
Anita
her.
Baker.
That's
Anita
great.
Baker.
I like
yeah,
that
I'll
one.
let you have all three today.
Never heard of her.
So
You've done well.
So do you want to pick a winner, Steve?
Well done to Mark Leder from Bow. He wins those fairly mediocre prizes.
I like the prizes today.
Enjoy them.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, well, we've had a few laughs.
We've
were
had a
good
few laughs, a few
prizes.
tears, a few scientific
Tears.
breakthroughs.
Exactly.
Got to get a picture of Carl somewhere in the national press. Just his little round head there.
I had an email here. Carl is trying to distract attention from the fact that he is a monkey raised among humans and horses and has failed to develop hair.
It's I can just imagine him
Yeah.
being the second cleverest in a troop of monkeys. Do you know what I mean?
Second cleverest.
Do you know what I mean? So
Picking fleas out of their hair.
They're so
oh,
mean.
look at his little face.
Leave him
I'll tell you
alone.
what. Heat, I'm gonna get a picture of you. Just put it in the radio section of Heat. Just this is what Carl looks like.
Oh, another email. Someone said, when the monkey boy went to the shops, he was naked. Where did he keep his money?
Good point. Didn't happen then.
Good point. Didn't happen then. My main concern, I didn't say anything because it was already bonkers and like there was no point. But okay, since you brought it up, not only if he was naked, where did he keep his money? I don't want to know. Don't ask, don't tell, don't see, don't. Nope. Hear no evil, speak no evil. I don't want to know. But my main concern was if he was living with monkeys in the woods, where'd he get money to go to the shops? I imagine he didn't have any.
Right. Well,
Oh,
So that's that. We didn't even do all.
What do you
we
mean?
Didn't we didn't get round to ritual.
oh, come on, give us
No, we haven't-
ritual.
we haven't really
We
got
have
time.
quickly.
No,
We
it's,
have
No
got
time.
Just
No,
do
they
it.
don't.
Why haven't we got time? It's 10:02.
right. Well, we've got a long track to finish on.
Well, just do it.
It's.
Do it!
Are you familiar with the place called?
go on.
I like
Easter
that
Island.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what they do out there?
Eat eggs. I don't know.
Well,
Go on.
that's close.
Go on.
Right. What they do, right? There's a lot of people living on an island,
Yeah. Easter Island.
and to find out who's going to be running the place, they
They don't hold elections, do they?
they have these birds that lay like expensive eggs on an island.
Expensive eggs. They like expensive eggs.
Fabergé eggs.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
On this island.
Yeah. Easter Island?
Once a year. No, off it, like
Oh.
about 2 miles out. Right?
Oh yeah.
And
Whitsun Island.
The sea.
Shrove Tuesday.
Yeah. Pancake Island.
It's
Time,
just
right?
frustrating me so much that they're not letting him tell it. There's so little time. I can see that there's like 2 seconds left, and they're interrupting. This is frustrating
Shrove
me.
Tuesday.
Get it out.
Pancake
We're
Island.
running out of time,
Just
right?
tell us.
No, Steve, we'll play off.
No. Tell us. Well, finish it now.
Deserved.
Don't you dare. Oh, I'm
See you later.
Johnny Mitchell.
You.
Blue motel room from the album New Jersey.
Deserved. In your face, Ricky. Deserved. That was a great way to end it. That was fun. That was really fun. Okay. Oh, man. That was great. I gotta go to work. Oh, man. I'm glad I did this now. There you go. Oh, so deserved that he just cut himself off. Screw it, you ain't listening. Beautiful, beautiful tactics. Anyway, lovely humans of Earth. XFM Saturday. It should resume for next Friday. I don't know. I'm a busy lady. I'm doing a lot of stuff these upcoming weeks, so we'll see. I'll try to work it out. But anyway, Beautiful humans, it is over. I am gone. Hope you have a fabulous weekend and an even better next week. See you soon, guys.